Hey guys, welcome to the top percentile. My name is Anay Dave and I scored a 99.99 percentile in CET 2020. Today's video is very different from the rest because I'm sitting in Himachal Pradesh while I record this. The topic of today's video is about how to manage to study CET while studying in college or in a university alongside. The main motivation behind this is the fact that a lot of people believe that you cannot be a fresher and crack MBA exams, or that it's not a good idea to risk your college studies while doing it. But out of the 6 founders at the top percentile, 2 of us have cracked CET while in college. The 2 of us being Harsha and me. Uh, we want to answer this misconception and we want to set it aside because there are lots of things that people believe, and because this is in their head, they tend to not study, and when they don't study and put in the effort required, they don't get the marks needed to get into JBIMS. And if we can clear out even a small bit of this fraction out of your head, and if you are the targeted audience for this, I think this could go a long way in your preparation journey, and that's why we are recording this video. Now, when it comes to the people who say that you cannot do this, the usual arguments are related to how college is a huge time commitment. You need to spend a lot of time in attendance. That's the reason one, attendance. Reason two would be the amount of time commitment it takes to study for the exams, the assignments that you need to have, the amount of effort that it takes to put over there. Reason three being the schedule that you need to follow. There are a lot of things that happen in college. You'll have different events. If you're a part of committees, you'll have a lot of work over there. You'll be doing a lot of different things, looking for jobs as well if you're looking at different opportunities. And it's not only MBA that you're looking at. There are lots of these things that you're doing while in college, but we are here to address each and every one of these. Now, when it comes to anything related to attendance, I think you have to attend college. If it's online for you, if it's still online for you, I think it's a big benefit, because if college has been online, we all know how it has been attended. It's not been the most attentive session on college. You can always work on the side. You can always do a lot of other things. Since everything's on Zoom, we tend to not learn a lot, and we don't tend to focus as much as we would otherwise in class. And you are saving a lot on the travel time that you take, that you would otherwise need to take. So if your college is still in online mode, I think this is the best time. The entire thing of attendance is out of the window. You get extra hours because of the traveling and because of the added focus that you can get. If your college is started in in offline mode, it's perfectly fine. Harsh and I did this before COVID happened, so we were perfectly fine in the entire thing. We managed studying in college. But the main question over here becomes the motivation that you have and the amount of dedication that you have to the goal. In the first webinar, if you've seen our first webinar, which I definitely recommend you to watch, this will be the most viewed or the second most viewed video on our channel. Harsh and I have answered this question in short. Both of us had only one answer to this. How many hours do you give to study? As many as you can. If you're in college, if you're in school, if you're working, it doesn't matter where you are. You need to put in as many hours as you can to study, because it requires a lot of prep, and you need to put in effort to reach that goal as soon as you can and in the time where it's going to happen. Currently, there are around 70 days to CET, or at least the proposed date of CET, and in that time you require to make a plan. Now, when it comes to, again, this entire thing about college, the advantage over here in case of college is that you have a proper schedule. They tell you when the exams are going to happen. They'll tell you when approximately what the lectures are going to be like, how much time you'd be requiring those lectures, what assignments you'd be having, and when those assignments would be. These are things that your college tells you beforehand. At least the broad things about the exams are known. But when you compare this to someone who's working, let's say you're working a finance job or anywhere, you might be working a tech job, you never know what next week is going to look like. Your client might ask for more deliverables, and your boss might say that no, you have to work more this week. So your entire week goes for a toss, and the plan that you made is no longer a plan that functions. In the case of school, this is not. In the case of college, this is not the case, because at least you know when the exams are going to happen and what is going to happen later. So the biggest advantage that you have being a college student is that you have a schedule to follow. And over the next 70 days, the first step that I want you to take is to make a plan for each and every day. I'll show an example of how I had done this during my time. So I'll just share my screen. I'll just wait for it to be visible. But yeah, basically over here, what I've done is this is the day of the week. Here you have the days. I started off on the 21st of February and I went on till the 14th of March when my exam was going to happen. I think my exam was on the 15th of March, or no, it was on the 14th. I forget now. It's been 2 years since that time. But this is the idea, and this is the countdown time since when that's going to happen. Like, I've marked the last 22 days, but I've done this for a longer time. You'll be doing this for 70 days minimum, and you'll be thinking of when you're going to take which exam, right? M2 was what was happening in college. This is what they used to call it in NMIMS. It was the midterm, the second midterm. I think there was an M3 that happened somewhere here, but that went into online due to COVID. But marking this here helped you understand how much you'd be studying, which days you'd be busy, and what exactly your plan looked like. On this side, I've listed the mocks that I'd be taking and when I'd be taking those mocks. The reason time AMM CET and Sim CETs are bigger than 1 day is because this was the window period. I usually used to take it on the last day of the period. Like for example, if time ended on the 23rd, I would probably take it on the 23rd. If Sim CET was on the last day, I'd take it on the 25th. That's how I used to follow. That's the rule I used to follow. And this also helps put into perspective because it's always easier to visualize what your plan is rather than have to, constantly wonder when you should take a mock and what you should do. This gave me a very good outline as to how many days are left, when I'll be doing college work, and when I'll be doing specific mocks and which mocks I'll be taking in specific. So I had a very good plan. And if you've this tracker, by the way, if you want a score tracker, if you want any analysis, this entire thing is available on our Telegram group. So in case you don't have this, please join our Telegram group. It'll be in the file section right there. We've put this out for everyone. Along with this, you'll also find my own schedule that I had followed in the year 2020. So if you want any of that, please join a Telegram group. You'll find all of it there. But step one for you is going to be plan. Plan out the next 70 days or how many ever days in case it gets postponed or in case there are further updates from them. Plan out the next few days. Plan out how many mocks you need to take and how you'll be studying and what your overall schedule looks like. This is something that'll help you a lot. And my mom is also someone who had actually done this for me and she helped me a lot in this. She used to do it on paper. She'd been doing this since childhood, but this is something that I did on Excel. And I think that is a very wonderful thing that you can do because it puts onto paper when you are busy and when you are not. Now, ending college, that's when the second strategy comes in. So here I'd like to split our preparation into two parts. One would be aimed at a person who is still completing the syllabus, and the second would be someone who's already completed the syllabus, right? And the reason I do this is because from my experience, there are two paths that a person follows, or there are two journeys that a person has. The first journey is when you are completing the syllabus for the first time. You are going over chapters for the first time. This could be anywhere. It could be from your logical section. It could be from a quant section. It could be from verbal. It could be from anything. But you're completing chapters for the first time and you've never seen them before. The second part of your journey starts after your portion is completed, when you are focusing more on mocks and perfecting those mocks and getting as high a score as possible from them. Now, based on where you are, I want you to understand what you should be doing and how you should go about this. If you're someone who's completing your syllabus, if supposing you need to study quant, let's just take one topic, for example. If I need to study quadratic equations in quant, I need to give it dedicated amount of time. In that amount of time, I need to focus on what I'm doing and I do not need any other distractions, right? So when I'm studying quant, when I'm studying quadratic equations, I will do this at home apart from the time when I'm not in college, right? When I'm not in college, I get time to focus. I get time to focus on myself and do exactly what I need to do. That's when I'll study. That's when I'll watch concept videos. If you have the top percentile course, you can watch our videos on that, learn from it. If you have other books and everything to study, you would read those books and study from there. But when it comes to other things like practicing this or perfecting this or just doing simple calculation, that's what you try to do in college in your free time or any time that you get apart from college, right? When I say that we studied in college, I literally mean that Harsh and I used to literally sit in college, even if the teacher's in front of us, and study. This is not a great thing to say, and I apologize to my teachers, but at that point of time, this was a lot more important in my journey. So I used to study in college. I used to spend time doing that, but I used to fall in the second type of individuals, which I'll explain right now. So if in the first type, please make sure that you're studying the syllabus apart from the time, outside the time you're in college. So when you're at home, you are finishing the syllabus. And in college, you'll be doing practice of those questions. You'll be finishing those off because you can solve in college, but you cannot study something else or watch videos in college, right? But if you are in the second category of people where you've already finished the syllabus, I think it's a lot easier for you. Firstly, there is higher motivation, there is lesser effort required, and your focus changes. So if you are in the second group of people, when you're only attempting mocks and you're only attempting to perfect mocks, your focus is more on better methods and how to do it faster. When you are doing that, better methods and faster, you can be anywhere and do that. It doesn't matter. I used to literally sit in college with a book in my hand and just randomly do random calculations or randomly solve questions without paper in my head. And I think that is a skill that helped me a lot. It helped me score a lot better in CET and more so in CAT. If you know, I had taken CAT after I had got into JBIMS, after I had got into that, and I scored a 99.86 percentile in CAT. But a lot of this had to do with the prep that I did during CET. So it comes to people who are in the second category. What I would like you to do is to utilize every minute of time that you get where you're not focused on your education, where you're not focused on the syllabus that you're studying at hand. And if you have even 10 minutes to spare, work on some calculations, work on revising your tables, work on revising the things that we've told you to remember. This could be your fractions, this could be reciprocals, this could be your squares, cubes, the alphabets, anything like that. Finish that off and take random 10 questions and solve them in 10 minutes. Your aim is to do a lot of questions in a short amount of time and to do this with as little paper as possible. If you're able to do this, it helps you do much better in the mocks much later on. So when you are in that syllabus, when you're in that situation, you need to focus more on this and not as much on your syllabus and what else you have to do, since you already completed 100% of the paper that you need. If you're someone who's completed around 70 to 80% of the syllabus, I think you are in both categories at the same time. So you can listen to both the types of advice and follow what suits you best on that particular day. But just to reiterate, it is not impossible to do this while you are in college. It is honestly just a matter of how much dedication you have and how much effort you are willing to put into that goal that you want. If you dream of getting to JBIMS, and I'm currently wearing a JBIMS t-shirt, so we wear this in all our videos so that you dream of wearing this t-shirt and getting that feeling of pride that yes, you are a part of such an institution that has made great leaders and great academicians. And if you dream about being in this college, that effort has to be there. The effort has to be a part and parcel of your everyday journey. And you can do this irrespective of whether you are in college or you are doing work. And if you follow what I've said, step one, being make a proper plan of how you are planning the next 70 days or how many other days are left. If you make a proper plan of the next few days, that's the first step. You'll be able to achieve it just by doing that. Secondly, based on where you are, you need to plan how you're using college just to the maximum. If you're completing your syllabus, your focus is on completing syllabus at home and solving those questions in college. If you're someone who's already completed syllabus, you are focused more on practicing in college, so you can keep practicing throughout the day as much as possible, and it's fine. If you're doing an MBA, your usual reason is to switch. If you're an engineer and doing an MBA, your usual reason is to switch out of an MBA, switch out of the science that you've learned and the engineering jobs that you want. But the main idea here again is to just practice as much as you can. At no point am I advocating that you should fail in college, because your academics will matter a lot in this. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you study as well. That's why limited time has to be spent doing this. But when it comes to exams, you need to again switch out back into the exam mode and focus on exams so you pass those exams and get the marks that you need. At no point, please do not blame me for saying that you got lesser marks because I told you to study for CET in college. But I'm just suggesting ways how to make the most of your time in both situations so that you make the most of it. The last part that I want to focus on is again for the ones who have already finished their syllabus and are focused on mocks. And this is the idea of passive mocks. Passive mocks are something where you just look at the question and solve it without using paper, and you're trying to assess the difficulty of it. One thing that helps in CET a lot is assessing whether this question should be attempted right now, whether you should leave it for later, or when exactly in the entire 2 hours or how much ever it will be now, in the 2.5 hours that you have, when exactly should you solve a particular question. The idea of a passive mock is to perfect that. And if you are in college, I think it's easier to do it. You just need to be shameless enough to do it in front of all your friends, in front of everybody, and just solve as much as possible. Because if you are dedicated enough, there's no reason why you should not be able to do this. So I will keep reiterating this, but it is not impossible to crack CET while you are in college. It is in fact a better thing probably than when you are working, because you get a huge control on your time. But it is all on yourself, all in the discipline that you decide to have, how you decide to spend time with your friends, how you decide to spend time with other activities in college that you'll be having, committees, etc. You need to find a fine line between the two. Do not give up do not leave other things that you do, but at the same time, don't let go of this dream, because if only 70 days are left, these 70 days matter the most. make the most of it right now. And yeah, it's just a lot easier once you're in a big institute. So please make sure that you give this your best and you try your hardest in the next 70 days. And if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. I'd love to go through what's happening in your head. We haven't made a video in a while, so please tell us what you're feeling. We want to know what videos you would want to make. And if you're interested in our course, please head on to our website, thetoppercentile.co.in. Everything is available there. You'll understand what the course does. And honestly, this is the best time to buy our course. In the next 70 days, the plan for that would be that in the next 14 or next 20, 25 days, you'll finish the course. You'll finish the course, you'll finish the syllabus at the same time. And the next 50, the 40, 50 days would be perfecting this entire thing in that amount of time. So in case you're interested for any of this, please reach out to us. We still have one-on-one mentoring sessions going on, and our group mentoring sessions are in full throttle. We conducted one just 2 days ago and had a great time talking to students for around 2 hours. So it was a wonderful time talking to each and every one of them. But if you're interested, please head on to that. But that's what I had to share for today. There'll be a lot more videos coming up. Please stay tuned to our channel. And I'm really sorry for the bad internet, the bad lighting over here. It's the best I can do. But it was really important to make this video and to put it out there. So all the best for the future. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.